What's going on, Gamecock fans, Chuckin Bucket Nation? Listen, man. Hey, if you was tuned in for that game, hey, we just had a real good game, real too close for comfort. But we here to talk about it, man. Live with Chuckin Bucket boys. We about to jump into it. We appreciate you getting in, man. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing started. That's right, it's your boy Coach I, man. Chuckin Bucket boys, we back, man. Hey, live on Thursdays on the Fanatic Sports Network. If you're new to the channel, man, here on the Fanatic Sports Network, we talk SEC basketball and football all the time. And on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock, we Chuckin Bucket boys in here talking South Carolina women's basketball. Just got finished with a tough one. Let's go ahead and bring our guys on. It's our guy KB. What's going on, Biddles?
What's good? What's good, man? How you doing?
Woo! Hey, man. Listen. If you wasn't a fan of the two teams, you probably enjoyed the game. If you was a Louisville fan, you probably feel bad now. In South Carolina, your blood pressure medicine is stay ready, right?
Man, nervous, but I love it, man. Early in the season, we getting a little March Madness feel. You know what I'm saying?
Right, for sure. Let's bring the third member of our crew up. It's our guy, Stat Guy. What's up, Stat?
Hey, didn't have a heart attack, so take that as 2 wins tonight.
Hey, too close for comfort, man. I was like, boy, let the Gamecocks pull this out. Stat might not make the show.
Oh, I'd have been here, but you would have had to have the bleeps ready.
Oh man, welcome in everybody, man. It's Chuckin Bucket boys, man. We're here to talk about South Carolina getting the win over Louisville, 79-77. Hey man, if you're watching with us tonight, man, get in the comments. Tell us your thoughts. Tell us what you think the Gamecocks could have did better. What you like, what you saw. KB, man, what you like tonight? Give me one thing you like tonight.
Definitely love the offensive side of things, man. And going back to the last preview of the Louisville game, I called Tessa out. I wanted to see some carryover from the previous game where she kind of got hot for us, but we were able to kind of see that carryover into this game here as well. So offensively, we know the firepower we got, and we've seen it in the first quarter for sure, going into the second quarter. But obviously, just lapses on the defensive side, man.
Right. What about you, Stat, man? I definitely agree with what KB said, man. The offense started out, on fire. It's kind of a, fast-paced game, too, and I think that's what Louisville wanted.
Yeah, for sure. For me, in the Louisville preview, I said I was expecting like a 20-13 type game from Ocote. She delivered. Obviously, missing those last 3 free throws made it a little bit, had to stomach it a little bit more than we should have. But
yeah,
good game from her. What I liked on the offensive side is there in the fourth quarter, we go down by 5, and we do what we've done for a long time under Don. We slow it down, and we get back to feeding the post. And so the 3 straight buckets from Ocote there with about 3 down to 2 minutes left in the fourth, I think was really good to see that this team has that in their DNA as well.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you. They was feeding Ocote. One of the biggest proponents of feeding was Latson, and I like that. That's one of the things I like tonight. Latson didn't have the scoring night that we would have wanted, but she found other ways to affect the game, and a lot of that was getting the ball to Ocote in some very tight windows. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She ain't the tallest guard out there, and she was getting it over some outstretched hands, throwing precision passes, so all Ocote had to do was catch it and lay it up. We got Scott Phipps in the building. What's going on, Scott? Appreciate you getting in. Recognize your name from the comments and preview. He said South Carolina does not have a bench this year. Listen, I think we guys touched on this, in our group chat, man. They did look a little winded in that fourth quarter. Some of the girls that we normally see in the rotation when the game ain't as tight, the Dowdas, the McDaniels, you know what I'm saying? Like, Staley said, I'm going with the starters the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah, man, that's tough though too, man. And I'm not sure if it's a trust issue or not, man. Especially when we look at somebody like Maddie. Obviously, we missing McCure as well tonight. But I mean, that fatigue played a factor for us, man. I mean, we talked about it in the group chat and also some comments as well, man. But we seeing that tonight. We seeing short short shots, short bunnies, obviously from Joyce, Oco. A couple of baskets that went in, like one hit the corner of the rim and rolled there. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of fatigue. Luckily, it went
Right.
in for us though. But I definitely got to agree with Scott.
Listen, I'm with that too, man. And but as a coach, a lot of times in those situations down the stretch, you like, I want to take this person out because I want somebody better for defense, got more energy, but then the person you want to take out is better on offense. Like I felt at times in the fourth, Maddie would have helped on defense because we were scrambling a lot tonight on defense. Like the rotation and communication was terrible. And I felt like they got a lot of open shots. And I think sometimes, but it's like who you got before because Maddie ain't as good offensively as a Tesla, especially tonight. Or a Latson could be, you know what I'm saying? So, Stat, how would you handle that? Because it definitely, like KB said, might have been some trust issues. We always used to tell our players, don't be worried about who start. Worry about who finished the game because that's who the coach trusts.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't mind the starters playing the entire fourth quarter. My problem goes back to the first quarter. We haven't seen the starters play the entire first quarter all year, and I don't remember the last time we've seen that from Dawn Staley in a couple years. And so I felt the first quarters when she misused the bench, get some girls some breathers then, and save the legs for the third and fourth quarter in the first half. I know it was back and forth and you're trying to hang in or retake the lead or whatever, but at some point, these girls are on scholarship too. And either we have an 8 or 9 girl rotation or we don't, and we got to figure that out. But I definitely think the problem with the subbing and everything was more in the first half. The second half's always going to play out how it needs to play out. But you can kind of save some wear and tear on the legs there earlier in the game.
Well, speaking to that point you brought about the first quarter playing all 5, and now I want to get on to what we didn't like about the game. KB, you think maybe that's because Dawn felt the energy in the stadium, in the arena, and Louisville was off to a hot start. You know what I'm saying? So she was like, if I put in subs now, they may increase the lead to a place where I don't want to be in the second half.
Yeah. I'm not as probably upset as Stat is about the first quarter because as a coach, I'm probably riding the wave. Like offensively, Tessa's hitting. We getting pace of players up, which has been down probably the last 4 or 5 games. And for me personally, I love that part of us that we can get up and down the court. And I think that was just kind of riding the wave. Unfortunately, on a road game, intensity is up, energy is probably flowing, even from a coach's standpoint. And I don't think you could take the risk at the time. So I'm not mad at that particular point going into the first quarter, but we could have got it back in the second quarter, which we did. We had some stops going into the second quarter. Offense was still, flowing a little bit, and we had a little bit of a lead, 5-6 point lead. But it's that 6th man that was missing tonight, and that's McCure. Like one person makes that big of a difference when we talk about rotation.
Right, and because he's always the 6th person off the bench, and Dawn obviously trusts her. Now Dawn has been putting tack in, but she didn't get in like Stat said in the first quarter. Like it has been a while since we've seen the starters play all the minutes in the first quarter. So I mean that attribute you got to think. So now in two of the quarters they play no subs, whole minutes, and with Latson not hitting, her shots or not even taking shots in the first quarter actually. Yeah. I'm like, we might have could have got Maddie in there a little bit to spell her, you know what I'm saying? So to use her down the stretch. So what would you say the biggest issue was tonight, though, KB?
Man, biggest issue, man, I've been preaching all season is defense, man. Gap defense, straight line drives to the basket. The good things I talk about Tessa tonight, the bad things I got to talk about as well is her defensive, her on ball defense and off ball defense.
Right.
We see it at the end of the game, man. You get caught ball watching and get hit with a backside screen for the game because you up here watching the ball get thrown into the paint, and that just can't happen. That was a wide open 3 that she really should have knocked down. She's been knocking it down all day from Louisville, and that easily could have been knocked down. But we've seen just poor rotations, man. Poor rotations, poor gap defense, not fighting over the screens, and I definitely could point a lot out from tonight, though. Right.
How about you, Stat? What was the most concerning thing for you tonight?
For me, it's the fact that Tessa Johnson was even playing. Like I don't care about her 20 points. All of them shots she was hitting in the first half were matching. because she was giving up an easy bucket. And that's where my issue is with not subbing in the first quarter is sit her butt down. Who cares that she's scoring? She's the reason we're giving up points.
Right, because if you sub her out, then the person you sub her out for may be stopping the other point.
Right. And then we have other people on offense that I trust. It's not like our offense is handcuffed if Tessa's not scoring. Right. We can go into one of our bigs. Maybe Latson is taking some more shots. But I thought for as good as she played on offense tonight, she probably had her worst defensive game, maybe of her career at South Carolina. And I don't think it outweighed what she did I don't think the offense outweighed it. So to me, she had a horrible game because I'm a defensive-minded person. I'd rather hold you to 0 than us score 100. And so she didn't answer the bell tonight for me. And that was, I don't know if it was because she was so focused on offense, but like I know I mentioned in the group chat, chicken with a head cut off. Like there were several times like she was just in la-la land out there on defense. It wasn't just on the last play on that missed 3. I mean, she gave up a couple threes because she didn't know who she was supposed to pick up. And maybe that's on communication on the back end. But you're a junior that's played serious minutes for 3 years. You should know what time it is. So to me, she was the disappointment. I mean, the defense in total wasn't good. We gave up 77. But a lot of that was on Tessa's noggin.
Right. And to your point, we always used to tell players and all of us and all coaches do this. Like, it doesn't matter how much you score if the other team scores more. So you got to get a stop at some point. Fortunately, the Gamecocks was able to get a stop. One thing that I didn't like, I know they were at home, but the Gamecocks let Louisville dictate the game the whole time. Like you said, Tessa was matching. She was hitting threes. But it's like if the Cardinals got out and ran and hit a quick bucket, it's like Gamecocks tried to go out and hit a quick bucket, even when they didn't have the numbers. I'm like, dude, it's 2 on 4. Slow down. Let the rebounders come down. Now, some of those shots, it was working out, but that's not what you do. You don't let them dictate how you play. And I think that caused a lot of why the game was close tonight. Shawty Parker, what's going on? My guy getting in and say, hold on, USC girls have some cracks in the armor. Hey man, early in the season, it's looking like like Latson said in the interview that they just not playing how they want to play. Score update right now in Cameron Indoor Stadium, LSU 5, Duke 17. So I don't know what's going on there, but we will keep an eye on that during the show. So, but yeah, I just didn't like the fact that they let Louisville dictate it. And that goes to both of y'all points, the help side defense, because it's like the whole game was in transition the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Either transition or secondary break. That's like the whole game. And I don't think now, I know that South Carolina is good in transition, but that's not the game. That's a Tennessee, Lady Vols style game. That's not a game. That's not the style game Gamecocks want to play.
Right. And to touch on that a little further, that's a conversation as a coach you should be having, especially with somebody like Raven. Hey, we're shorthanded tonight without our 6th woman in McKeer. We're probably not going to go deep on the bench. We need to be, if it's not a fast break layup, slow it down, let the bigs get down there and feed the rock down low, and let's shorten the game a little bit. Because I think that's the other issue, touching back on the fatigue. It's not just the minutes they played, but it was how the game was played. I mean, it was a track meet the entire game, and that's not good for the body.
Right. All right, man. If y'all just joining us, it's the Chuckin Bucket Boys. I'm Coach I, Stat Guy, and KB. Giving our recap to the South Carolina women's basketball win over Louisville, 79-77. This next segment is brought to you by one of our new partners, Kick Ave Coffee.
All right, y'all. Quick 30-second timeout. Let me put you on real quick. If you're listening to this, you already love women's basketball, and you know Elite is different. Elite looks different, it sounds different, and it feels different. Well, that's exactly how our friends at Kick Ave Coffee Supply move. They're over at 5 Points in Columbia, South Carolina. This ain't regular coffee. This is top-tier championship-level coffee. They've got some of the best roasters in the world, like Say, Onyx, Black and White, and DAC, all in one spot. So instead of paying for a mid-cup every day, you can make world-class coffee at home. And the crazy part, you're probably already spending the money. You might as well drink something that actually hits. So here's what you do. Pull up to Kick Ave Coffee Supply, 617 Hardin Street in 5 Points, Columbia, South Carolina.
Tell them Chuckin Buckets sent you, and you'll get 10% off your order. That's it. Simple. Upgrade your coffee game the same way your favorite team upgrades their roster. And as always, go Gamecocks.
That's right, man. Kick Ab Coffee, man. Partner of the Chuckin Buckets. Get down to 5 points. Check them out, man. 617 Hardin Street. Listen, we're gonna talk about a little bit of the South Carolina defense. Let's see what Shawty guys say. All jokes aside, shout out to the panel and gems we've been dropping. Appreciate it, Shawty. We know you're a basketball head too. So said, man, the way you was hitting that timeout sign it don't seem like regular coffee.
The timeout coffee, man.
Hey, right, man. South Carolina's defense. Listen, man, we talked about it from game 1 to now. Teams are getting open looks at threes. Too many uncontested three-pointers. And tonight, Louisville was actually hitting. You know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, that last shot to KB point when Tessa is, ball watching, you almost gave up a game winner. Wide open. Like nobody's, if it was a regular phone camera, nobody's even in the camera shot. You know what I'm saying? So what's going on, Biddles? What you think? What's going on with these not even getting in the frame to test the three?
I think a lot of it starts with on-ball pressure, man. I know I've talked about this before. I've seen a couple of sets tonight where Louisville was running some sets. On-ball pressure was like nowhere to be found while it's on the ball, while the guard is coming around off a screen, knocking down jumpers. If that on-ball pressure is there, you're not being able to make those easy passes. You can't make it as comfortable as the Gamecocks have been making it for just the passers. So it definitely starts there. And then the second part is just help side defense, man. It's like you gotta. And that's a lot of that is just effort, man. It's not like these are things we learned in elementary school, middle school. We doing shell drills back then, but at the college level, it's effort, man. Sprint to your spots, man. Drop step, sprint to your spots, sprint to your player, man. And it's just a lot of effort, in my opinion.
Stan, I'm gonna ask you this. So last year it was Chloe and Joyce down low for the better parts of the game. Chloe, not to say that she can play a guard, but if you needed to switch, she wouldn't get, absolutely roasted. You think some of that, rotation communication is, because what I saw tonight is sometimes we fight over the screen and sometimes we switch. And it's like sometimes the other party doesn't know. And we don't want Oka, switching on to no guard, you know what I'm saying? So you think some of that could be the problem or why the communication has been bad on this help side defensive rotation?
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing is while you don't want her switching, she's not hedging. She's playing drop back, waiting on the roll. And so the problem with that is we chase under way too many screens. And there's a lot of times that she sets a secondary screen on the defender because she drops into their pathway of them trying to chase under. Part of that is the on-ball defense. We're not in your kitchen. And if you're in somebody's kitchen, it's a lot harder to get screened because the offensive player can't go shoulder to shoulder with the defender. It's a lot easier to get over the top. And so to me, that's kind of my problem with it. It kind of starts with the on-ball. We need to be in people's kitchen. We're not pressuring the ball as good as I think we can. But then we have to start hedging with Okote. And maybe we don't because of how bad the backside and help side defense has been. The other issue, too, is the part of the problem, and we gave up like 2 or 3 tonight. One was in the zone, one we were in man. But Latson and Tessa both kind of get caught between how far should I help and leave my person. And it's like they get caught in between, whereas a coach, if you commit all the way to helping and you give up the open look, I'm going to be mad, but at least you went 110% at something. Right. It's like they're going like 65%, and I'm like, well, now I'm furious because you didn't help, you weren't in help side, and you gave up the wide open jumper. So at least, like, we get caught, like, what are we doing? So at least that's what I want to see going forward, even if it means us giving up threes. At least be 110% one way or the other. I will say this, credit to Louisville. Louisville is a tough matchup for us because all 5 girls are willing to shoot the three, which pulls Okote out of the lane. And so it forces her to guard somebody in an area where she doesn't want to, which is uncomfortable for her. And so and to that point, we didn't see Dada at all tonight. And I'm surprised in the first half. I felt we were gonna go small in the first quarter when we were going back and forth. I thought the subs were gonna come in and we were gonna see a small lineup to kind of match them 5 out to be able to defend them better. But we never went that path. I was kind of shocked by that. I'm interested to see Don's post game to see if there's a reason Dada didn't play or if it was just the game was too tight kind of thing.
Yeah, Don did seem to favor, go with offense, like a philosophy tonight instead of defense, because I thought the same thing. Like the number 11 for Louisville was stepping out, hitting the 3. You know what I'm saying? Now, Don did adjust in the fourth quarter. Joyce started playing her, and Ocote was playing the other, I want to say their forward, because the forward is less likely to shoot the 3. But I'm like, and I get it. It was kind of the same way. Now, Ocote didn't play bad defense. It just they put her in some situations where she would have to go out and play the 3. And it's like, if she go out there hard, if she run out hard to run the girl off the 3, she getting took straight to the basket. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to call out Raven, man. Like, Raven on ball defense is always good. But I watched in the fourth quarter where she help side. She's literally like standing right outside the block. A girl drives. And I'm yelling, help side, Raven, help side. And she never steps over and help side. Fortunately, the girl misses the layup. I'm like, why are you hugged up on her? I don't care if she's hit 5 mid-range jump shots. A layup is always something we're trying to stop. So the help side defense, to y'all point, man, it was terrible tonight.
Yeah, and I think just to kind of piggyback on what Jeff was saying as far as effort, man, and I hate to even say this out loud, but just to call out probably Tessa and Joyce, man, I think we're seeing some moments where they want to switch because they don't want to be on the ball. You know what I'm saying? We see half effort coming off of those screens or not fighting over the screens because it's easier to roll with the person away from the basket, right? Take a couple seconds of a break, so to speak, on defense and not guard your man. And I hope that's not the case, man, but I've seen a lot of moments right here where we just didn't see the effort fighting over the screen. And it wasn't a hard screen at all. You know what I'm saying? These aren't great screens. This is not Steph Curry Golden State Warriors and nothing like that. Screens
right.
And stuff like that. Like these are easy screens that you should be able to get over a lot of these.
Right. Stat, you think to Shawty's question, you think Don's slacking on the exit of those?
No, I mean, not at all. I think it's execution. At some point, there's only so much you can tell the kids to do. The kids got to perform.
Right.
I mean, you see her trying different things. I mean, you go to the zone to see if maybe that'll help close out some of the gaps and stuff. I mean, it was just execution tonight. And back to KB's point though about fighting over the screen, especially the number 11, you could kind of body her a little bit and she moves. And it's like, if you fight over that, we easily could have probably got 2 or 3 moving screen calls on the last play of the game. If Tessa tries to actually fight through that screen, she was already kind of moving out with Tessa. Tessa easily gets the offensive foul called, but she just runs into and just plays dead. And it's like at some point you got to be the aggressor, even on defense. I mean, I feel like offensively we kind of have that mentality of forcing it inside or the guards trying to make stuff happen. But just on the defensive side, we were not the aggressor at any point tonight. And we paid the price for it.
Yeah, about the X's and O's, man. Like, I'm not I mean, I might be in agreement to that for a little bit, man. But because at some point, coach has to be able to know who's my defensive player, who's not my defensive player, and put them in positions to succeed. Obviously, still early in the season, and we got a ways to go. But at some point in time, like we can't come out in a 2-3 zone, right? We can't come out, pressing and falling back in a 3-2 or 2-3. And we got to have the right personnel in there when it comes to Ocote on a pick and roll. Like, are you dropping or are you hedging? I don't think she can hedge, unfortunately, just because I don't think she's fast enough to get back. It's kind of what I'm saying as well. Like, if you hedging, you got to get back. You got to get back to the paint after that. And I think her footwork is not fast enough on being that far away from the basket to help out.
Right. I think to that as well, like, I don't know where her conditioning is or was at Mississippi State and where it is now. If you hedge a lot, you hedging outside the 3-point line. And even if she is, she can be quick enough to get back. it's using a lot of her energy. And then she is really good at rim running, getting that secondary pass on the break, and not just Oko. Joyce looked tired out there tonight. I'm like, what? Like, this the all Miss Do It Everything in high school. You know what I'm saying? Soccer and volleyball and everything else. It's like, if you tired, how are we gonna get on the other girls about being tired? Like, I don't know what's that all about. And again, that could be due to the shortened rotation today with Dawn. So I don't know if that's something you look at going forward, but definitely not having Makir. Apparently, that's somebody Dawn trusts to come in early, no matter who they're playing. Tat got in a little bit in the second quarter. Didn't really see a lot after that. And then McDowell played some in the second, a little bit in the third. It's like Dawn just kind of almost went just straight five people tonight. So that could have attributed to how lackluster their I guess their energy was. So I don't know if that's somewhere where you want to go, because we always talk about Kim Mulkey doing that at LSU, you know what I'm saying, especially in tournament time. But I guess Don wanted to see what it was like since it's not a conference game. You feel like that's a good strategy stat to kind of see what the Gamecocks look like if she shortened the rotation?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to test the waters, but I hope we're never in this situation by how tonight looked. Yeah. But I mean, it don't hurt you to test the waters a little bit. But I mean, I felt that McDowell gave us good minutes in the second quarter. I didn't care for her minutes as much in the third. I didn't feel like she was as productive, but the minutes she had in the second quarter were great. And y'all are high on Maddie. I'm not. Raven's a fifth-year senior. Played the entire damn game. I don't care. Like, I could care less if Maddie's on the court. Yeah.
See, I like Maddie. Maddie come in, and actually Maddie has more energy than a lot of the girls. A lot of time I get because she doesn't play, but she plays good defense. She's not going to score. I will say I do like the way Raven's scoring in the mid-range, hitting some threes, taking the girls off the bounce. But sometimes you got to spell this, man. When you playing in a tough game like that and you want your winners to have all their energy, you got to spell them at some time. That's on Dawn. You know what I'm saying?
You spell them in the first quarter, not the fourth quarter.
Well, that's where Maddie. That's what I'm saying. Maddie could have came in the fourth quarter. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the way the pace was going tonight, Maddie would have been in her comfort zone. Maddie likes to play fast. I think sometimes that's why she doesn't get a lot of playing time, because she plays like one speed the whole time, whereas Dawn's like, sometimes we got to go fast and sometimes we got to slow it down. But tonight would have been that, and I will say that is on Dawn. As a coach, you got to read the room. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, yes, this ain't the pace that we want to play. Obviously, Louisville was dictating that tonight, but let's put in the players here and there to give you. And I'm just like, all the girls look tired tonight, dog.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, man. That's coaching, man. Because easily, end of the third quarter, we can sub Maddie in for like a minute. Then you come back, start the fourth quarter with Raven, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are moments you can steal, TV timeouts, things like that, which we didn't see. And unfortunately, like, this is not the first time we've seen the whole five on the fourth quarter. Like, let's go back to the Texas game. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to that Texas game where Don shortened up that rotation, even with Makir on the bench. And I hate to use the word trust again, man, but I mean, there could be some trust issues on the bench as far as putting those younger players in those type of positions. Obviously we don't have Chloe, we don't have Watkins either. So, that speaks to some of the experience that we lose from the bench, and maybe it's just not fully trusting these young girls just yet.
Right. Hey, if you're just joining us, man, it's the Chuckin Bucket Boys, man. We're doing a recap of the Louisville South Carolina women's basketball game. The Gamecocks pulled it out 79-77 in a closer than Gamecock fans would want it to be game, but Louisville came out to play. Listen, man, this next segment is brought to you by one of our other sponsors. It's Swipe Fast. We'll be right back after this.
Hey, just take a break right here. It's your boy, Coach I, Chuckin Buckets. You know how we get down, man. Just to let you know, today's episode brought to you by Swipe Fast. That's swipe with a Y, Swipe Fast. If you're looking for a way to keep majority of that hard-earned profit, you know what I'm saying, and still continue to grow your business, check out Swipe Fast. It's a merchant services company that's got over 26 years of combined experience helping businesses of all sizes, man, with debit card, credit card processing, things of that ways, in the most efficient and cost-saving ways, man. So whether you're a restaurant, retail store, e-commerce, or you process business-to-business payments, Swipe Fast has a solution to fit all the needs, man. You can visit them at swipefast.com. That's swipe with a Y, fast.com. Or you can just call them at 1-800-597-0713. No strings attached, and get you a cost analysis. Don't forget about ask about that revolutionary pricing cash discount too, man. It saved business owners up to 99% of the current processing fees. Let them know Chuckin Buckets sent you, man. Now back to the regular scheduled program.
That's right, man. Thanks for joining us. If you're in here, we got some comments. Brian Salibi, appreciate you getting in. Says starters had 33 to 38 minutes. And listen, right, that's not a recipe for a national championship. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it time and time again. Again, I bring up LSU, but they do it all the time, try to run with 6 or 7. And maybe it was a strategy by Dawn because it's not a conference game. So she got a little, technically good thing she didn't lose this one, but she could have lost it and it wouldn't have, really hurt. But I don't know. Just an update, LSU 22, Duke 24, second quarter just started it's about 9 minutes left. So good call out, Brian. Appreciate you joining us today. So, all right, man. So offensively, they scored 79 points, right? But it wasn't like they ran a whole bunch of sets.
And what you hate, they scored 79 and easily could have had 95.
Right.
Easy. I mean, there's off the top of the dome, I can think of 8 possessions that we either missed a bunny or we shorted a little floater or something in the lane. Like, easily could have had 95.
We gotta stop missing the bunnies, bro. Like, Joyce is the worst offender. But I mean, Okote does it sometimes as well. But Joyce, man, I'm like, Joyce, I know she came in averaging right under 20. I think tonight she probably had 10, 11, something like that. But she could have easily went for 20 tonight.
I think she had like 12 or 14.
Oh, okay. Well, she could have easily had 20 or 25. They just be right there. All right, come on, Joyce. Like, shout out to Joyce for the 3-point shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's already adding the stop and pop, the catch and shoot right around the mid-range area and the free throw area. She's trying to expand the game because if they have to come out on her, she can easily get by them. So for the most part, I'm not mad at the shot selection. I'm just mad that it was, like I say, almost like a helter-skelter pace, KB, because that's what Louisville wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Kind of like what you said, man. Like, we got to be able to dictate the pace, whether it's a fast pace or a slow pace, man. But we can't let the other team dictate that particular pace. And I know this is kind of the theme as far as fatigue, man, on the defensive side. But I think we've seen some of that on the offensive side, unfortunately. We've seen Joyce, miss some bunnies. And in my opinion, if you're underneath the basket, we got to have it fatigue or not. But we do see Tessa get to the basket, miss a wide open layup. I think that's fatigue. We see Latson get her shot blocked, which normally she's elevating, trying to get the foul, which I thought that probably still was a foul, but we're probably looking at fatigue right there as well. But we're looking at 8 to 10 kind of missed layups that we should have, and that's a game changer because that takes some of the win out. We're probably on maybe 6-2 run, 6-3 run, or whatever that might be.
Yeah.
But that turns into 9 to 10 points. Now you're on a 10-3 run or 12-3 run once you start hitting those little bunnies. And these aren't jumpers; these are layups. We gotta have them.
Right, and the Gamecocks built an 11-point lead in the third quarter stat, and I felt like they was playing on offense as if they were down.
Right, and then it was real weird. Like and it's very similar to what happened in the Texas game. Built like that 8-9 point lead at the end of the third quarter, and then fourth quarter, it just like the switch flipped, and they just didn't know what to do. They built that lead. Their first 3 or 4 possessions looked picture perfect on offense. Coming out of the half, you jump them, you build up on the lead, and then their next 3 or 4 possessions were horrible, and now Louisville's right back in the game, and you in a dogfight. I want to give a shout out and give her flowers. I'm a hard critic on Raven. I appreciate what she does on the defensive end, but I want her to pass the rock on offense and feed my post. But when I tell you, when she had old girl out by half court and the clock was winding down, I already knew what time it was. I was like, take it down to 10 on the shot clock and then get to the rack, see if you can get to the foul line.
Right.
Oh man, she took old girl to the basket. That was a tough
backwards leg. She did the backwards leg. You know what I'm saying?
little reverse with the inside hand. Tough.
Shout out to Raven, man. Shout out to Raven.
Yeah, and then showing some emotion. I mean, we see the emotion from her on the defensive side, but we don't really see the emotion from her on the offensive side. So to see her kind of let it off her shoulders a little bit was good to see. That was tough. I enjoyed that.
So KB, with Latson, you think obviously she's still trying to find her way with her teammates, because in the first quarter, I think she only took 2 shots. Yeah, and I'm not saying I want her hunting all game. I'm just saying, can't 2 shots. You gotta do better than that.
Man, that's tough. And I'm a little torn just because of the pace, and like everybody was just in a rhythm. And sometimes maybe it's not your time to be in the rhythm, right? But the tough thing we've seen with Latson is that we've seen the last few games where she started slow. You know what I'm saying? She started 1 for 9 the last game. Don't get started till late in the Texas game as well. But we can't have moments of, okay, let's go to halftime. Let's have Dawn talk in her ear, and then you come out and hit the first 2 baskets. Like you're a seasoned, veteran on this team, man. You're the top 5 draft pick, and you got to be able to know yourself without the coach telling you, hey, I need the ball. I got to go get this basket. I got to get something downhill or something like that. Like I needed it to be better, man. That's really what it comes down to. Like I said, I'm not mad at the first quarter just because how things were going and pace was there as well, but second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, that's on Latson.
I got you. Stat. So what coming out? Go ahead, Stat.
I was going to say, speaking to the Latson thing, I think the problem is she came to South Carolina to become a better professional.
Right.
And she wants to be a true basketball player and not somebody that's just considered a volume shooter. I think she's having a hard time finding that balance of when is it okay to go and when do I need to play within the system, not realizing that her on the go can be within the system. They can go hand in hand. And I think that's what she's struggling to realize. But to that point, her passing is a lot better than what I was expecting out of her. I know you touched on it earlier. I mean, she had 2 little like dip around, hook passes, whatever you want to call them, and they hit Oko right in the hands on the move. And it looks like she's a seasoned point guard and not somebody that's considered a volume shooter. So I think it's just kind of feeling her way through it. I do think that as the season progresses, when it becomes money time, I think we're going to get the Latson that we expected.
I can see why it'll be a challenge for her. She definitely don't want to alienate no teammates by taking all the shots, and then you don't want to not shoot the ball. But I'm like, KB, like at this point, like just go out here and hoop, especially if you're hitting. Like I feel like the Dawn coaches these girls in a way that they know it may be somebody else's night, and they don't have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, we all wanted it and we getting it. Tessa is hunting her shots, you know what I'm saying? And there's no problem with Latson because, I mean, if you think about it, in the starting 5, there's only 2 people really hunting shots if Latson is hunting. It's just her and Tessa. Like Joyce and Oko are getting whatever you give them. They're not, not clapping for the ball and things like that. It's like, of course, run within the offense, but I think she can pick up, her attempts a little bit more is what I would want to see. So coming away from the Louisville game, Stat, tell me something you want to see more of from the Gamecocks and something you want to see less of.
Something I want to see more of is giving up less than 60 points a game. Right. These last, even the Duke game as well. I mean, they've been rough offensively all year, and it's like we helped them find their way. We got to get back to our defensive roots of shutting people down to where we're not in these situations and getting stops. So that's what I want to see more of. Something I want to see less of is Maddie McDaniel. I'm not I'm just not she don't do it for me. She just doesn't. I know she plays hard, but it don't do nothing for me.
Jeff, we already shorthanded. Like
so my thing is, you want to see less of Maddie. We're shorthanded. What is she doing on again? I'm not saying that she's making these plays that make you like her, but this is the thing as a coach. The only reason why you're taking her out is to put the starter back in, but you're not taking her out because she's doing that wrong, because she ain't doing that wrong.
Right, but in my world, I got McKeer.
McKeer wasn't available tonight.
Right, but you're saying what I want to see less of going forward.
Well,
I want to see McKeer back healthy, and I want to see less of Maddie. That's what I want. Try to get me with the trick question.
Hey, I'm not. McKeer's averaging 4 points, by the way. So I mean,
but I like what she does defensively with her length. I just don't. I know Maddie goes hard. I just don't see
Maddie's one of the best on ball defenders on the team.
Yeah.
We'll agree.
She showed it tonight.
Yeah, she only played 5 minutes tonight.
That's your opinion, though. I'm just trying to get more clarification because, like last year when we said we wanted to see less of Tack last year, it was because Tack was like missing open passes, like fumbling the ball out about it. She was doing things wrong to make us not want her on the floor. This year, I don't have a problem when Tack's on the floor because she's not doing those things. Now, I got a problem if you taking off a hot O-coat for Tack or something like that, or you putting Tack in before you put McKeer in. That's different. But just not wanting Tack on the floor because I'm not a Tack fan. I'm not. But when she gets on the floor, she's been effective. I'm about winning. I don't care what jersey out there. That's all I'm going to say. So, KB, something you want to see more of and something you want to see less of?
More side pick and roll with Tessa and Tessa on one side, Latson on the other side. And when I say that pick and roll, man, I mean being aggressive off that side pick and roll, because I think a lot of times they get stuck on trying to reverse the ball to the other side, or get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 passes before we take a shot type vibe. But when you got shooters, you got scorers, like you got to be looking to attack, and attack don't always mean score, but sometimes it means like drawing the defense in and kicking, right, or just making a play for the next person. And we seen glimpses of that tonight. Want to see a carryover, man. We got to be better because we're going to need it. We're going to need it come tournament time. If we're going short in this rotation, man, we got to be able to attack the basket, get them in foul trouble, and just play downhill and play our game. As far as I want to see less of, straight lines to the basket, man. I'm a harp on this defensive side of the thing, man. It's like one time this girl it was a layup line. I thought we was watching warm-ups. man, and she was playing with that thing around the rim. But we gotta cut these straight lines to the basket, because once that's beat, defense just breaks down. So either you kicking it or you get into the basket for the foul, just like on the other end.
Yeah, that's a good call. I'm with you. A lot of the open layups, I just don't. We can't do that and try to, go for a natty this year. You know what I'm saying? One thing that I want to see more of, I want to see more high-low game with Joyce and O-coat, because that allows O-coat not to have to dive every single time, she sets her own ball script. Like we talk about fatigue. It's not just hedging and getting back to the rim. When you come out setting high ball screens outside 3-point line, and now you got to dive hard to the basket, that takes a lot of energy too, whether you get the ball or not. And then what I want to see less of is the high ball screen with Raven Johnson and O-coat. Listen, I get it. They're trying to clear out the lane, you know what I'm saying, get the high ball screen. She can dive to the basket. Raven give her a pocket pass or maybe a little lob pass. But this is the thing. As a defender, any good coach knows Raven ain't coming off the screen trying to shoot. Like Raven, it's just, they do it just to say they did it in the offense. If we're going to run a high ball screen, do it with Latson or do it with Tessa. If McKeer is in the game, do it with McKeer. I need a ball screen to have two viable options coming off so the defense is put in conflict. So Brian says, I was glad to see more threes taken and made. That second part, Brian, I'm with that. And made. You know what I'm saying? Now, defensively, I want to see less threes given up.
I do got one more thing I want to see more of, and it's to your point about the screen game. I would actually prefer to see Latson and Joyce in that high ball, with Joyce then not really popping to the three, but more fading out to that little midi that she likes. And then you put O-coat on the opposite block. So when Latson drives, she has the dump off, or if the girl doesn't step over, she just lays it in. The other thing, we didn't see it tonight, and I'm it might be the first game all year we haven't seen it. I really like the screen with Joyce and Oko playing the screen and roll game together. I'm a big fan of that with the two bigs getting in the screen action together. So I wouldn't mind seeing more of that, and hopefully that comes back in the coming games as well.
Yeah, and when they do that inside the 3-point
Right.
line.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
again, not affecting the fatigue as much because again, we talked about Oko kind of getting tired in that Texas game too. You know what I'm saying? When it started to be up and down, especially when she playing good because they're trying to feed her, you know what I'm saying? So she getting fed on the offensive end, she's got a block, and she's doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? She's doing a lot tonight with 23 points, if I'm not mistaken, 23 and 13 or something like that.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to her. Tessa with 20 and 7. Shout out to Tessa. I know listen again, for those that haven't watched this before, we're going to be hard with the constructive criticism because, the Gamecocks are one of the two teams to me that are the standard in women's college basketball along with UConn, and it's always in efforts to try to reach and win another natty. This ain't a Midland program where we just cool with wins and things like that. It's like Don Staley's built a program that is expected to compete and win national championships every year. So when we do our criticism, that's what it is. We are not defending the 3 well. Right, Brian, all year. I mean, go back to that first game against Grand Canyon. Like Grand Canyon, if they hit some of them threes, it's a game.
Right. Let's not act like it's a this year problem. It's been a hole that's been getting bigger and bigger the last couple of years. And it started me. You remember me and you were on the phone during the Michigan game to open the year last year when they ran the same picket fence screen 3 plays in a row for old girl. And I
got an open shot each time.
Bam, bam, bam. I'm like, they running the same play, like on some junk me and you used to do on the circuit. Just run the same play over and over.
Right, and this is the thing, and you start getting in conference play and then SEC tournament and then March Madness. These things, especially in March Madness, y'all know how it is. These teams get hot. They know they can't battle on the inside. They're not gonna go challenge Oko every single possession, and they start hitting these threes. Not good. Think about a team like a Tennessee. Tennessee, South Carolina's way is to me far superior to Tennessee with talent. Basketball, acumen and everything. But Tennessee likes to get up and down the floor, and they like to shoot a lot of threes. So if it's the one night in conference play when they're hitting, then that's going to be a closer game than you want it to be. You know what I'm saying? So we got to do something about that.
Yeah, I think it might go to the X's and O's, man. You guys kind of hit on it, man. Maybe it's not personnel. You know what I'm saying? If we're talking 2-3 years, like, we still reminiscing on the UCLA game where old girls still shooting threes in our nightmares, right? And like I said, maybe something's got to change in practice, man. Like these defensive drills, maybe we're doing, maybe from a coaching standpoint, you got to try something different, man. But if we're talking 2-3 years, hey, might not be the players.
I don't know. Again, like tonight was definitely some communication issues, definitely fatigue. And again, Makir is out, and I get it, but that's one player, dog. Like, the rotation is normally about 9 people. Again, Stat called it out earlier. Daughter didn't play any tonight. Like, what's that about? Like, she could have stole a couple of minutes in there. You know what I'm saying? Gave a couple of fouls here and there, something. So it's interesting to see how Don handles this rotation going forward. And
I do got some stats for you coming off the win tonight. It was South Carolina's 22nd straight win against an ACC opponent, and the domination of the little sister of the poor. And then also South Carolina has still not lost back-to-back games since March of 2019 when they lost the last game of the regular season and their only game in the SEC tournament. So you're talking about what, almost a 7-year run. If they make it to March this year, talking about a 7-year run without losing back-to-back games.
Tough. Listen, the next couple of games, I think is going to leave some room for some more, I guess, rotational coaching. We'll say next up is North Carolina Central. Then you got Penn State, South Florida, Florida Gulf Coast, Providence, and then at the beginning of the year, January 1st, you take on Alabama to start SEC play. So I think it's safe to say that the Gamecocks will be able to, get the next 5 games. It should be with minimal, resistance. Let's say that. I haven't watched Penn State play, but typically their girls team isn't, a dominant force. We shall see. Maybe they're a 3-point shooting team this year, and they make a good first half.
Well, and something to watch out for as well. The North Carolina Central game, a win against them would tie Tennessee for most consecutive non-conference wins against most consecutive unranked wins by an SEC school, and then circle that Penn State game to potentially break a Pat Summitt record. And anytime you're breaking a record held by Pat Summitt, you're doing something right.
That's right. One of our favorite commenters is back. It's Mr. SC Brad. What's going on? He says, women Gamecocks aren't the team y'all SC fans think they are. I have a question for you, Mr. SC Brad. And I don't disagree, what you're saying. I mean, it's your opinion. Who are you a fan of? Obviously, you said South Carolina fans. Y'all are. First off, I'm not a South Carolina fan. I respect Don Staley, and I live in South Carolina. So, I help my guys cover the team. But I'm interested to know who your team is.
I'm pretty realistic with things, man. I don't think we're just that great team. We definitely, call out opportunities that we have. We've got some, ways to be better for sure. But yeah, I try to be realistic with it. If anything, definitely not teams of the past where we're just dominating on both ends of the court. And we're a few games away from putting the whole game together. For sure.
Right. But even with the flaws that we called out, the constructive criticism, from what I've seen in college basketball, you can't name 5 teams better than South Carolina, which puts them right squarely in the Final Four, in my opinion, fighting for another national championship. Which thinks that?
Yeah, I mean, you looking at how it's playing out right now, you probably, if you had to guess a Final Four today, you'd probably go UConn, Texas, South Carolina, LSU. Probably makes the most sense of who you would expect the Final Four to be.
Okay. Well, we appreciate everybody joining us, man, for our recap of Louisville losing to the Gamecocks 79-77. Chuckin Bucket Boys are always here live on Thursdays. Is Christmas on a Thursday this year? It is. So, of course, we won't be live on Christmas. January the 1st, we'll play that by ear. That Alabama game is at 2 p.m., so we shall see. I got to see what games is being played. College football is still going on for the dogs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't speak to everybody. But
Tough. Rub it in.
Oh, man. But KB, man, what you got? Got some parting words, your final thoughts on the good win tonight against a ranked opponent?
Oh, definitely. Man, just want to really lead a chat with this, man. Okoth, SEC Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year. As it stands right now, she got a good shot at that. Yeah. What about you, Stat? What's your final words for tonight for the Gamecock fans?
Since it is Gamecock Thursday here on the Fan Addict Sports Network, it's always a great day when Shane Beamer stuffs Lane Kiffin in a locker. We got the duck home. Time to get ready and go win a natty in 26. Get ready. I'm already back on the Kool-Aid. Let's go.
The Kool-Aid is flowing, and more flowing. Shout out to the Gamecocks for holding on to Landon Duckworth. Signing day, for those that don't keep up with football, was yesterday. The Dogs actually lost a quarterback and the Gamecocks held on to theirs. But you know what Kirby do? I mean, just win natties with walk-on, so it don't really matter who's playing quarterback. So, but yeah, man, it is Gamecock Thursdays. The Lady Gamecocks get a big win. Let me tell you, it's a ranked win. I'm pretty sure if Louisville came into the game 8-1, now they're 8-2, 7-1, 7-2.
Yeah.
Okay, 7-2. So now they're 7-3. But if they play now again, South Carolina brings out the best in a lot of these teams because they are, one of the top programs. So they're going to give you their all. But if Louisville can play like they played tonight, and I'm telling you, they hit a lot of mid-range shots too. Like those girls are banging them mid-range shots. If they can play like that, they'll continue to be ranked, and this would be a good quad one win for the Lady Gamecocks. So,
well, and I will say too, I don't think Louisville needs to drop out of the top 25. You look at their 7-3 record; their 3 losses are to UConn, South Carolina, and a top 20 Kentucky team. So
Right.
it's not like they lost to somebody they shouldn't have. And I expect this Louisville team to make some noise in the ACC that's kind of not shaking out the way people expected preseason.
There it is. There it is. So since the next game is North Carolina Central, then Penn State, South Florida, Florida Gulf Coast, we won't be dropping a video preview unless the fellas choose to do one for Penn State.
Be on the lookout for the Penn State preview with the record on the line.
There it is. So there will be a video preview next Monday or Tuesday of the upcoming Penn State game with the record on the line. So there it is. And then we'll be back on next Thursday, December the 11th at 9 p.m. at our regular live time. You can catch the Chuckin Bucket boys. And we're going to give our opinions of the season so far for all the SEC contenders. That'll be South Carolina, LSU, Texas, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Kentucky, and
Tennessee. We can talk about them being a letdown.
I mean, and if we just want to throw undefeated teams in there, then we can talk about my Lady Dogs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they are 9-0. You know, I'm 10-0. I'm just saying. We don't know these losses you guys speak of.
You don't know playing top 25 teams either.
Right. Hey, we're taking how we can get it, baby. We appreciate everybody on Facebook and YouTube joining us tonight, man. We'll catch y'all next week. For my guys, KB, Stat Guy, Coach, I'm Coach Out, man. We'll be out of here. It's Chuckin Buckets.
Peace.